Hi, YouTube. How are you doing? I'm doing okay. I could be a little better. Still going through some things that are pretty horrendous, but it'll all work out for the best, I'm sure. Things seem to have a way of doing that. I'm dealing with a lot of cruelty and a lot of um, weakness out of other people and mistakes out of other people that they don't recognize that they're going to soon recognize. And that's what my video is about today. Having self-confidence in hard times and people that might be around you that could be envious or have a nefarious plan to stop you from um, keeping stable in your life, because if they don't like you or hate you, they're going to try and destabilize your life in any way that is possible for them. So with self-confidence, like I have, holds up a mirror to them to show them their weaknesses. And I can't really talk too much about that phone call I didn't get yet, but just a word to the wise that when you're dealing with emotionally disabled people and you're not qualified and you work for the state, you made mistakes that I'm not going to show you any mercy for. This is your job. If you can't do your job the right way, somebody needs to be found for that position. Here's a for instance. When you know somebody has been in a mental hospital before and you put them in a cell by themselves and they've been known to do things to themselves um, because of their disease, then you know full well when you participate in that interaction that that person should be in a mental hospital, not in a jail cell. And we got a lot of people out on this planet. In the 70s, they opened the doors to many state hospitals and just let people out. And a lot of them were Vietnam vets or even back then Korean veterans. So, yeah. Um, I got some things in the works that I won't be showing any mercy for people. They don't understand the cruelty of how that is. They don't understand the spiritual war. So, and it's all about money to them. You put somebody in a jail cell, they owe the state. You put somebody in the hospital's expected to take care of them, you see. And it isn't like this person doesn't have an income because that's not the case. So, private and emotional care could have been contracted by the state and they could have got their money in another way if they weren't so greedy about it. People wouldn't be just a dollar sign. But no, you're not going to break me. Nothing will. And you're going to be very surprised at how I turn all this energy that was directed towards me back on you. And I'll enjoy every second of watching you suffer. I will now. I never would have said that to people, like even this time last year, not even close. But when I don't get consolence through my pain, I won't be showing mercy to the ones that initiated that pain on me and grouped together to use that against me. So, and I won't be doing anything physical to anybody. I don't think so. Unless you touch me first, and then I will totally do what needs to be done. And as a martial artist, that's perfectly legal. It's called self-defense. So, which I have never really displayed, only in defense of myself or other people. And if you're getting hurt and I'm around, you'd be happy that I would take care of that. I just spilled my coffee. So if I do get a phone call, um, I'll be answering it. So if that happens, I'll just click off the video and answer my phone. So I don't think it's going to happen. I think they think that just because I'm gave birth to somebody that my concern for them ends there and my control over that situation ends there. No, it doesn't. I know my laws, my rights, and the rights of other people, especially the mentally disabled. I'm really well versed in those areas, not from stemming from any illness I've got. And believe me, I was checked when the father of my kids had more money and got control over my children. They tried to deem me unstable, and I went to the best psychologist in my state and proved them wrong. Also working in the mental health care field myself. I know way more about it than a lot of people working for the state, which I worked for the state as a paraprofessional and a counselor and a trained medical assistant and a nurse. So, and I'm a licensed minister in my state. So I got a little bit going on in the care of other people, you know, decades. I think that's must be why God had me doing these things in my life for this war I'm in right now. Because I know for a fact if there were some people who didn't exist, my son wouldn't be diagnosed with schizophrenia. The truth of the spiritual war would be known, and some of you know what that is. That's what I'm battling, but it's not much of a battle. It's just where I'm going to get in at that they're going to be surprised that I'm going to take away their power. So that's in the works. So that I wasn't on here yesterday. I didn't have much to say. And I thought about it last night and like I was going to say I'm still here. Didn't get me down, but it's like, nah, no, that's okay. So anyway, yeah, I had state officials that were involved with my children um, because of courts being involved in the custody case and lies that were told about me. That I had paperwork that proved I wasn't lying, and this person they put my children in the care of was unstable also to take on two kids that he hadn't even seen for over 5 years. Yeah. Not to my doing. It's not like I would have let people just take them out of my house and go, but they were perfectly welcome to come and visit at any time with supervision. You know, no, when you punch your own child in the head and he hits the ground, there's no going back after that. You're not alone with your children after that. If the mother has any brains in her head, she'll do everything she can to stop that legally, you know. But money spoke to the courts. stronger than the stability of a mother that worked for the state, you know, but that's okay. And get this is really cool. Then when I needed some help, this is why they came and tried to fight or fought me for the kids because I was struggling financially when my kids got older. And the minute I asked for some help, oh, the state got involved. My kid got one $80 check, my youngest son. The rest of the money was expunged. $80,000 was expunged by my neighboring state on behalf of the father. Isn't that cool? See how I've been over? Oh, and it gets way worse. That's just part of it. It's like, yeah, go ahead, take care of them when they're all little and everything, and I'll come back when they're bigger, and I'll really come up taking them to whorehouses and doing drugs and drinking with them when they're little people. Yeah, so I got a big fight on my hands, and these people that can get into the minds and heart of my children that are my adult people I put on this planet because they're related to them and do not have their best interest at heart. And I know who you are, and I will not be showing you any mercy. And that control is in my hands, and you're going to find out how much control I actually do. You aren't going to make me cry. I'll never cry. Not over this. Not over what you're doing. Or for myself. I'll be just fine. And so will everybody else I care about. If you care about me, I'm going to care about you. If you don't care about my offsprings, I'm not going to care about you. And just keep in mind when you need that help, you aren't going to get it, and I will not show you mercy. That's not going to happen. Not this time. And that's all I ever hear out of the monsters is, oh, forgiveness. I think it's about forgiveness. Even if, even if you don't love me anymore. Don Henley. A good song. But, oh, it's way more than about forgiveness. Yeah, it is. It's called This Is the Time We Live In, where the veils are lifting and people are seeing things just for what they are, right down to the twisted text, everything, language itself. Yeah, everybody's okay till it's their turn to suffer, and then they're like, oh, help, help. Oh, really? Yeah, I used to. I used to put things in play for people and give them the chance to do what's right. My kid's schizophrenic. People, professionals, mental health care professionals know, and people that have watched documentaries and all those things, you know that schizophrenia can be triggered, a triggered episode, even into self harm when they've been shocked. Don't you? Yeah. Well, I do know that. And the rest of the healthcare people out here do too. So your negligence and your cruelty isn't going unnoticed or unchecked. You think everything's all cozy and you're just going to live the rest of your life and I can't do anything about what's being done? Yeah, I can. Mm, yeah. Sometimes just waiting a little bit and thinking about things is a lot better than just acting spur of the moment. You know, I put a lot of thought into a lot of things from every angle for everybody, um, especially the demise of the dark claw. So, yeah, that happened to think just because I used to cry that I'm weak. Nah, I'm not. I'm somebody that if you make me cry, it makes me angry because of the shame of my tears because I am that strong, and then I don't act out. I use it as fuel to get the things done that I need to do. That's how I operate. So I'm probably some of you watching me are like that too. I have a friend I heard, I'm not going to say your name. What the heck are you doing drinking Jägermeister? Oh my God, I tasted that like, I think I must have been about 19 or 20. That's about the grossest. I took like one sip. I can still, ugh, remember how nasty it was. And you have a hangover from that? From from the new year? Oh my goodness, nobody warned you? Come on. I know you live in another country, but that's still no excuse. Come on, it's a joke. I love you and your family. I hope you're doing well. I hope your head feels better. And I know, I'm pretty sure you won't be doing that again. You're young. It's excusable. It's a little funny though, isn't it? Boy, that's bad. Bad, bad stuff. So, yeah. I think hangovers are for young people that don't know any better. you know? Yeah. Might be some other noises going on, like the pump or whatever. But yeah, I'll just talk to you for a while. Yeah, just letting you know that my spirits aren't down. Yeah, I'm sad. I grew up in chaos. This is my playground. This is where I thrive. So, where other people would crumble when things seem to be falling apart, I don't. Well, it's my area of expertise. you know, wonder how many qualifications it takes to deal with the mentally ill when you're unqualified. I wonder what that looks like in the courts. Yeah, well, we're gonna find out, aren't we? And give you something to think about today. It sure gave me something to think about. I do, and I am going to be very careful that nobody that is innocent gets ran over in the meantime through all this mess because it is a mess. It's just not my kid or your kid. It's men and women and children all over this planet that have been misdiagnosed and dealt with the wrong way by the wrong people. So, yeah, the system is broke on purpose. It's easier to put somebody in a jail cell, like I say, and expect money out of them than it is to have the state take care of their health, physical or mental. when somebody belongs in a insane asylum, that's where they should be, you know. And if they think they're qualified to even talk to somebody that is unstable, then they would have to be a mental health care professional in that area in order to do that, especially when he has somebody with a form of Parkinson's that cannot speak or defend themselves properly. It's all illegal, and I'm going to prove it. So that's what's on my mind today, and those are the steps forward that you can't do anything about that I am going to take to a higher level for everybody else, just not my own. Like I say, I know I'm not the only person going through these types of things with family members or people you care about. And you aren't going to care about nothing until something like that happens to you. Normally. I mean, I was working with handicapped kids when I was still a kid, working for Head Start, volunteering. So I started young. I don't think a lot of people, even in that field, started as young as I did. I even tried to read Sigmund Freud before I was 12. Couldn't quite get it. I got through the book. I had to look up like every other word, it seemed, at that time, you know. But I finally got it. Not that I was proud after I really understood who he was as a person, because most healthcare manuals are written by the insane. We're talking about somebody that had sexual thoughts about his own daughter and wrote in his so called manifesto of the normality of it. No, there's nothing normal about it. My first reaction when I hear people have hurt children is they need to die. My second reaction is what's truly going on and how many generations has this been going on and who in those generations is allowing it and who is nurturing it or ignoring it. All these questions, you know. So some people really are capable of murder even if they aren't directly connected in a physical way. They're participating in the taking of a life of another person. That's not free. Ever met people like that? I've met, well, we've all met thousands of them. Yeah. Think of the ones that do work in state facilities that deal with people's lives and souls on a daily basis. Are they really qualified? From what I understand, I could be wrong. I think even police officers have, like the first course, like Psychology 101, the same as anybody in the healthcare field, whether they're in nursing or mental health or whatever, you're still dealing with a certain amount of psychology. But the state has access to them to have a qualified person come in for the care of other people in any given situation. And that's where they fail and have failed. Oh, no, we got Trump wanting to open all the borders and just make it one great big America. That's treasonous. We fought for our independence against England. Why would we want to join with the Canadian version of England? And especially, too, the Spanish American War. These things just don't go away by opening the border to the cartels and the human trafficking. That people, just because we can't see it, we think things aren't real, you know? I just wanted you to know that I bend, I'm limber. You will not break me, and I will help straighten this out in more ways than one. And I'm showing no mercy along the way. Everything will come out into the light. You aren't going to dirty me, shame me, get me down in any area where you dwell, ever. I'm too strong for that. So I give people the benefit of the doubt till there is no doubt. And then whether I forgive or not, I don't care. I know I walk with a conscience every day. I self examine. I correct my mistakes. And I don't see a lot of other people really worrying about those things. They're worried about their public image. Yeah, but I'm going to dig into the heart and the soul of the situation, your brain, all of you, and I'm going to expose it for the world to see. And you will not be comfortable when I get done with you. Just because you ignore me, as you've been well trained by your master to do, you're going to find out that I have more help in this world than what you really think. Sometimes being alone is a benefit because you have more time to reflect and to plan and study in areas where other people don't. And you think you're being carried by the dark force, but you're not. Because he hates you because you're stupid like that. You can be controlled. You're a tool and nothing more. I'm not nobody's tool. Not your weakling. I'm not your forgiving. I don't teach forgiveness. I teach the first version, eye for an eye. If you want to forgive, that's fine. It's a good thing. It won't, then you're, not to keep anger within yourself. But that's not a make or a breaker. It's not. You have to forgive or you're not going to have a beautiful afterlife. No, you judge on the same measure, are the words. Least you be judged. That's the scales of justice. That's the wording, the proper interpretation. But you might believe in a book that teaches you were born in sin. You were not born innocent. Maybe you weren't. Maybe you weren't. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna get this uploaded. I just wanted you to know I'm still alive and kicking. I still will have a happiness within me, even of my saddest times. And I'm coming after you. Simple as that. You started a war that I'll finish. So if any of you out here feel like I do, just know that my words have an impact greater than what appears to be today. And I'll be back tomorrow with a little more information on that for you. So, y'all have a really good day. I love you. Peace from Pine City, Minnesota, USA. Thanks for joining me.